it's amazing how for woman, if something happened from the waist down, it's or a shame or you're afraid of it to tell it because you can be sentenced to. It's impossible to have a happy society if half of the people thinks that the other half should go to prison because of these obstetric emergencies.
So I want to ask you, because I know that you have been engaged in activism around gender and reproductive rights. When you first encountered the story, and I know there was also a book about Belén, and of course the real life story case, what was it that moved you so deeply that you felt you really wanted to make this film?
As I was a part of the releasing fighting that was in Argentina in 2016. So when the proposal came to me, it was so familiar for me to talk about this case. Also, very personal. It was very personal also in the fighting of the human rights in Argentina with a lot of with the woman movement. So for me it was blessed. I wasn't a director at the moment. I knew about the case and about when we did this action of saying freedom to Belén. I was nominated to an award. I won the prize, and when I won it, I present this sign that said freedom to Belén. And then I met the real Belén and the real Soledadesa in the releasing of the book, Somos Belén, that I was there because of a chapter that was talking about the actresses talking about the case. So I was there, and they came to say thank for that gesture. And then Leticia Christie, the producer, was in the award ceremony asking who is Belén. So when the book was released, he bought the rights to develop the story, and then 2 years after, I became a director with Blondie, my first movie. So Leticia asked me to do the same, writing, directing, and acting. For me, it was a gift, you know.
But still, this is only your second film that you've directed, and to be in it yourself, how do you navigate balancing being a director and then being in so many scenes? You're a lead actor.
For me, I think that when actors do the crossover to directing, it's like you're so used to be a tool of a universe of another, that when you have to propose this universe, also acting it, also have the conscious that you have all this crew doing this possible. So my feeling was total thankful. I was feel blessed. I was there enjoying. I enjoy all the parts of the process, like the writing with a team, of course, nothing alone, collective work, like the woman movement. So a team of writing, and then my crew, and then the actors, and I really feel the achieve of acting and directing at the same time. It's of course supported in the crew and in the actors, so it's like an organic thing that you are doing in the moment with the other. And for me, it's very, very funny. It's not a word, no? Like very enjoyable.
Yeah.
See, I have.
So you wrote the script with 3 other people, right?
With two.
Oh, 2 other people. So what was that process like? How do you work together, and how do you decide, to tell the story from the perspective that you did, all of that?
One of the writers wrote with me the first movie also, so we knew each other writing, and then we have an investigator of the third person was an investigator of the time, like talk about, like when Soledadesa goes to the TV show, that they are talking like Madonna, if Hillary wins, this, well,
sort of research.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Research of the time. But I think about the movie, like I put the pieces. We do it in a, we write and put things, we move everything, and then we write that down like in a in a script directly. And but I have the idea from the beginning which scene with. I just have to change things in a moment. But then the rewriting again is the editing. So you have the script that is a green light script. You shoot that, and then in the editing, I rewrite it with. The movie was 2 hours 20, and now it's 1 hour 40. So we are fluid people.
Good for you, because too many movies are too long right now. Now, you played Soledad Deza, who is a real person, of course, it's all real story. So, what extra sense of responsibility do you feel when you're playing somebody who's real and who you got to know, right?
I luckily me, I don't put that responsibility in me all the time. You know, of course, in the script moment, but then Soledad Esa, the real one, is a friend now of mine. Is my lawyer now also. She's amazing. She's amazing. And she was very open all the time for me. Like any question that I have, she will answer it immediately. She was there for me to all the thoughts or doubts about the character, the religion. How is religion for you? You know, so and she like big long audios in a Sunday morning. We were too much together, hung out in her house. We did a lot of things together. We went to Tucumán. She came to Buenos Aires. A lot of. So it's like when you have a friend and you suddenly start to talk or think like kind of like a contagious thing, you know, like a merge that you studied with people that you are too much time with.
You get to know them and finish each other's
So
sentences.
there's a state of mind that it came to the movie that, of course, is the presence of her, but it's a merge between both my life, her life, and so when you make it personal, when you took the case, the real case that it has all the details that I needed, but then you make it personal, like I am Soledad Esa, when you te adueñas del.
When you own.
When you own, when you own the character, then you forget about the real people. Of course, with the respect is needed and everything, but she was there all the time with us, like following the process.
So she was there to kind of be a consultant in a way, or
Yeah. And any role that it was needed, she was there for that, and she came to the set a lot also.
that's nice.
Yeah, she came like when in Buenos Aires, but then we did the first march that it wasn't people there and they were alone, like trying to to llamar la atención.
Get people's
attention.
attention, hand
Yeah,
out
get people-
flyers.
exactly. And she was there like crying with a partner saying, it was like that. Nobody looks at that, nobody picked
Flyers.
the flyer. It was like this. So she was like, when she saw the movie, her husband, that is like the husband in the movie, sweet and amazing, they went out from the screening place, and I was like, so? And the husband said, amazing. And she was like, good. And I was like, what? And then I understood that if she said amazing, of course she was saying amazing, that she was amazing, like it was so much herself that she couldn't say, oh, I like the movie, she couldn't separate herself to the movie. She was very impressed, yeah. Because also like the way you look when you're desperate in the movie, or when you cry with the pressure to release the girl, in those scenes, I was like, it was me. So I can, she was very touched.
That would be an interesting thing to see someone else's version of what they think you're like.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Did you get to meet the real life Belén?
Yes, of course. I met her in the release of the book in 2019. She came to say thank me for the sign in the award, and because that sign put the pressure of the international press in Tucumán, so the people that were attending the case were like, oh, we are being watched. They felt this situation, and she was released like 2 months after. So it was huge movement all around the country, thanks to Soledadesa in Tucumán and then all over the country. So we were there also, the actresses in Argentina. We have an organization of 500 actresses, the most populars in TV, the cinema, the theater, whatever, and we did this. We went to the TV to argue with people against, we did it.
Yeah.
Um,
The subject matter itself.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes. But I was asked, which was the question?
No, I forgot. Oh, originally it was about her.
Belén,
Yeah,
yes.
Belén, yeah.
So Belén, of course, she earned money by the book, by the movie. And we see Belén all the time. It was her birthday like 3 weeks ago. So we went, of course. Then she saw the movie in a private screening, and it was very hard for her. But she watched it. They have to stop the movie like twice. Once was in the scene of the birthday because time passed by and she was there. But she's happy with the movie, and she could come to the opening night in the cinema. So we went out from the cinema, all the families and friends, everybody was shouting. It was amazing. And I went out and I saw her, like in an anonymous character.
Wow.
So I went like, what? Shh. Yeah. Sorry.
She really likes being anonymous.
No, she was very, very happy. But she could live the moment with us, and that was very emotional. So.
How do you approach portraying such something that's so traumatic and so socially and politically charged as the story is, and still sort of honor her dignity and all of that? I would think that's a difficult road to take on, to balance all of that. Did that make sense?
Yeah, but what is the question?
The question is,
How
do you balance something that is so traumatic and also make it compelling for a film and make sure that you're honoring her truth?
I think the most challenging thing is to make from a real case a good movie. Like putting the importance of the cinematographic event. That is why we are here. We like cinema. We don't like real cases. We don't like people that is suffering an injustice. We like how a movie showed this. So we were like, we have all this side of the character that for me was very important to show, that is the human side of a woman, a worker, a wife, that also is a mother that goes to go and pick their kids in the school and have to do the video, and and this
Has to dance Gangnam Style.
these layers of humanity that for me took out the solemn way of telling this story that could be a tragic, and depressed movie. How to make it, because it was the real thing. Soledad was there, and this emblematic case appeared in her life, but she had to go to the school and to do the video. So this, the mental charge that women in general, we have mothers and wives and whatever this, and laughing about that, laughing that we are doing 100 things at the same time, and we can do it. We are multitasking, and that also is directing. So for me was like showing this, how to be a woman in Tucumán or in Argentina or in the world, makes you breathe in some moments of the movie when you have the Gangnam Style or the TV show or this. The most important thing for me is humor, in a way. It's like a clever tool to use. In this case, it's also much more because you can breathe in some moments.
And humor always makes everything feel relatable. Yeah. Given that the film's release comes at a time where there's kind of a renewed global debate about reproductive rights, and everywhere, a lot of places, and also here in the United States, did you feel a sense of urgency and almost even responsibility deciding to tell the story now?
I think Leticia, the producer, is working in this project from long time ago, since 2019. I took the project in 2023. We shot the movie this year, so we finished shooting in April, and we edit we did the editing part in 2 months and a half, and I have to go to act in another project in Chile, and then come back, the mixing and everything. And as soon as I come back, as I came back, we have the opening, and then we travel to San Sebastian official competition. So it was like, very, very fast and furious. But, ¿qué me preguntaste?
So I'm wondering if la pregunta that doing it right now, the sense of urgency
Yeah, the
with
time. No,
issue.
I think that is a talent of the movie, because why? Because Leticia started thinking about before the law was out in Argentina. The law was signed in 2020, so we have the abortion law since 5 years ago. So it's a baby. And Leticia started working with the movie before the law was out. Then I wasn't a director in that time. I did my first feature in 2022. So it was like a thing, like events that finally ends. But what I wanted to say is that the movie has the talent to arrive in the moment that the movie wants, you know.
Yeah.
I was like later in the story of the movie, of the project, and then suddenly, like, it's like when these things happen, everything is se alinean los planetas.
Like
The planets are
synchronicity,
aligned.
planets
You
align.
know, the planets are aligned, and then suddenly the movie appeared in this moment. But we didn't have the control of that in a total way, you
Because
know.
it feels like really good timing.
I know.
Particularly for our country, because we had abortion rights and
It's
we've
a
lost
very
them.
good
Yeah.
moment, of course. We don't have we didn't control that in a way, but of course, in any moment, this movie, it's a good moment, I think, you know, because if you have the law, because you have it. If you don't have it, if you have it, it's a tribute to all the women that put their bodies in the fight to get this law. If you don't have the law, you get inspired to make a movement
To
with
fight
your,
more.
you know.
Yeah,
And in countries that have the law but still happen things like this, also it's like, okay, it's putting an eye on these cases that shouldn't be happening. It's amazing how for women, if something happened
From the waist down.
from the waist down, it's or a shame, or you're afraid of it to tell it, because you can be sentenced to you know, you can. So it's and also it's crazy to have a society that half of the people believes it's impossible to have a happy society if half of the people thinks that the other half should go to prison because of these obstetric emergencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah. The divided country. Yeah. What has the reaction been in Argentina? I mean, the law is, like you said, it's new, 2020. So what have you? And I'm curious the reaction in Spain
Argentina,
and other places.
as we say, it's a birthday party. You know, like the movie. We were 6 million people in the streets when the law went out. So there's a lot of people that watch the movie and can be, or your mother went to a march, or your sister, or your daughter. You know, it's impossible not to be involved in a way. It's impossible. So the movie, and of course, has a lot of details of Argentinian culture, like the old lady that appeared in the TV is Norita Cortiñas, that she died like last year. So as soon as Norita Cortiñas appeared in the cinema, like and a lot of things. But in Argentina was amazing. It's a thankful feeling all over the country, and the movie it's been shown everywhere, at schools, jails, universities, debate cinema, a lot. Like every day I have like 3 videos to send to people to these places because it's in Prime Video and people already are the owners. That is a nice thing of a movie, that it's not longer mine, it's yours. So take care of it.
Yes, in this country, we need to. And it's also the official submission, obviously, from Argentina to the Oscars and the Goya Awards. And what does this recognition mean to you personally? I mean, that must feel great. Your
Personally,
second film.
Well, I'm an actress, and I wanted to be an actress since I was 4 years old. I don't know why. I think to escape from reality. But for me, of course, like the Oscar, the cinema, the worldwide cinema is the Oscar is like the symbol of every dreamer person of the acting, directing, writing, no discipline. So for me, it's in the illusional way. It's amazing, and I can believe it, and I'm very proud, and I'm happy because I'm doing it with a movie that I really like. I think it's the only way. But easy also, easy peasy, like thankful, thankful with everything the movie queer conquer every time that people watch it. So the most important thing for me about the representation of the Oscars and Goya and every award is makes the people more interesting makes the movie more interesting for people to watch. So I think that the movie hace su trabajo sola la película.
It does its job, the movie.
The movie, yes. So if the people watch it, we're okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm guessing there might be some other filmmakers. This is film independent. So for those who want to tackle maybe some real life stories, if there's anybody here in the audience who wants to do that, stories of injustice or social issues like this, what advice would you give them about, the responsibilities, the ethics, when you tell real life stories on the screen?
I think I understand that the real case, it has a lot of information that it's not yours, but of course you have to make it personal because it's not your life. It's a case that happened to another people. But if you don't put your point of view, your real feeling about the case, it will be distant in a way. I think and I feel that the movie has an universal llegada,
A universal reach.
reach because it starts with a very personal giving. We are giving like an intimacy part of us. So I think when you give, you receive.
Yeah.
Something like that. So the real case is like in a way a detail, because you can respect but if you don't put your view of that case, there's not a conversation.
You have to have a point of view.
Yeah.
What surprised you about making this movie? Was there anything that you encountered you thought, I did not expect that? Or
No, what I didn't expect is, okay, I have a year to do everything, writing, directing, and acting, and finish the movie, and I will do it. And I did it. So it was like, okay, 3 months of writing, then we have the green light. Then I did a TV, I did a show for Prime Video in between. So then I came back, we started the previa, the previous work before shooting, then we shot. Then they editing like every day, too many hours per day till it was, and I have to go to Chile. So I survive. I think that I'm surprised that I survive. And I could do it, The first one was like, I wrote it in 2017. I shot it in 2022. Very easy, very. And this was like, ooh, like a rocket.
that's amazing. Well, it's an important subject, so it should be. Last question. What would you like us all to take away from this film?
I think, well, inspiration, reflection, ¿cómo se dice? Repensarnos,
Rethink.
rethink, sí, as a society and as a worldwide, with that responsibility. And that a very nice feeling that a director of mine had when he saw the movie. He said, the nice thing of the movie is that you go out feeling that if we could do it in that moment, we can do it now.
Yeah.
So,
Sí se puede.
yes, sí se puede. Exactly.
Muchísimas gracias. And Annabella.
Thank you for coming,
Thank
eh?
you, Dolores Fonzi. Thank you, Annabella.